Hi guys, it's about 7:07 right now. Some rain out there. The gardeners are really rejoicing about this. However, this is our last chance for a little while here, and then we're gonna get more dry weather. But there has been hail reported today. Very small hail, maybe as big as a pea, but other than that, nothing major here. Just well-needed rain and brief bursts of heavy rain. We had a couple bursts today here. We had one around 2:40, and then we had another one around, I would say around 5:50, 6 o'clock. We had another little burst, and then, of course, now it's ended here. Now, moving on here, while we're on this topic of hail, hail is not a winter type of precipitation. Hail is from thunderstorms. It's very uncommon that we get them during these little shower bursts, but it's happening. But normally hail comes from a massive, severe thunderstorm, and when that happens, you will get some pretty impressive hail sizes. Hail can be as big as 8-9 inches. Yeah, picture that. In diameter again. But then you go to the sleet, which is a winter type of precipitation. That will never get larger than a pellet. Okay, I would say it's like a BB. That's the best way I could describe it, but it's actually even smaller than that. So sleet is very small, will never do any damage, to where hail can do some significant damage and stuff like that. However, let's move on while we're on this topic of hail. So you look at this picture and it just looks like a firefighter is leaning up against a rock, taking a picture. No, this is not a rock here. This is hail, okay? And you say, what? Yeah, it's hail. Because the reason why it looks so much like a rock that's brown is because of the dirt, so much dirt that you have in Texas. And this happened in Texas. Amarillo, or not in Amarillo, but somewhere in there. Hail. 4 feet of hail. Just picture that. That's almost like 4 feet of snow, except heavy, heavy snow. It's like 4 feet of stones. Like pea-sized stones, like little marbles. Just imagine that. This hail did not do any damage other than the 4 feet, but it did not, cause damage to cars or anything. It wasn't like huge hail, but it was about pea size, which ironically we were getting the pea size type hail today. This is another picture. Look at this. This definitely shows you the type of hail that they had, or that it was actually hail. That's all white. Yeah. So that's the reason why. So heavy rain, 4 feet of hail. Just picture that. It looked like winter out in Texas when it really wasn't. But yeah, look at that. The things are gonna start warming up here. We're gonna have a high pressure that's going to be in control here. You can see this nice little high pressure area. This is going to make a lot of people here in New England and the Northeast very happy, unless you are not a summer lover or warm weather lover. This high will, for those people, be causing a lot of sadness. But this is going to be causing the trough here to move back north, since there's going to be winds that'll be coming out of Cuba and the Bahamas and the Gulf, and that will cause this trough to ride northward. And you will notice that's what happens here. You can see how this trough this ridge now is continuing to increase, and most of the country very warm. Most of the country is very warm. You can see the only area that's cool is really the coasts of California, Washington, and Oregon. In the meantime, most of the rest of the country is warm, fairly warm. What happens here is we do get a little bit of some rain coming in here, which will keep things a little bit cooler, and then we have a massive front. And look at this. Areas out in Minnesota and Wisconsin are going to be talking about a massive snowstorm. They could be picking up some good 8 to 10 to 12 inches of snow. Just picture that. That was the NAM model. This is the Canadian model. You can see generally the same thing. There's that high. There's that low there. There's that snow in portions of Minnesota. There's the rain that could be coming through our region. And what might actually happen is ahead of this front, we may actually get a line of thunderstorms. I am actually getting a little worried about this because these thunderstorms could be strong. I'll have to watch this particular situation, and if this were to happen, it would be around the Wednesday, Thursday time frame. Watching that, so this is again the GFS, and you can see there's that nice ridge, that warm weather. Watching out for the potentials of some thunderstorms. We'll be watching that very carefully. The biggest chance of that would be on Wednesday. You can see there's that there could be another little pulse of a low that moves through. We see a little bit of a cool down, and if this is right, this nice little low that's forming here in portions of Indiana and Chicago may give us a period of snow for the end of next week. We'll have to watch out for that. Although it looks like there's going to be no snow that comes down, it may end off as a little bit of that, or during the height of this, because of the way the wind direction is moving, because it's from Canada and because it's nice and cold air, during the night or during the morning hours, I wouldn't be surprised to see some snow out of this. We'll have to see, but it would have to be in this particular type of situation where we would see that snow. But if that doesn't happen that way, and if the models update, which I can almost guarantee you they will, then we won't see any snow. Which right now I am not going with any snow for our region, but we'll have to see what happens. Then you can see things start cooling down, and then you eventually see another warm-up and maybe some more rain in the forecast. Snowfall for right now, or at least according to the most recent model here, nice snows out into Colorado. There is that snow into portions of Minnesota and Wisconsin, where they could be picking up as much, generally along the lines of 3 to 6 inches, but portions of northern Wisconsin, as much as 6 to 10 inches of snow. Maybe even rearing 12 inches. That moves into Canada, and Maine doesn't even get any snow out of this particular system. However, during the end of next week, particularly Saturday, you get a little bit of a snow event out into northern Maine, maybe up to 4 inches, and then there's that snow event that I'm potentially talking about here into Massachusetts, into our region. Quickly talking about our region, this is our area. This is Berkshire County. This is Franklin, Hampshire, Hamden, Worcester. That's the I'm talking about counties right now. You can see the biggest amounts would be generally in through the Franklin and Hampshire counties, but in general around our whole region, anywhere between 3 to maybe as much as 5 inches, and that would have to be if this model continues to stay the way it is. We'll have to wait and see on that. I am really not hooked on that. We'll have to see what happens. Maine may get a little bit of snow. Maine will probably get snow out of this most likely, and then of course another little chance there, and then maybe a few other chances as well. So we'll have to see what happens with that. So that is, of course, what's going on right now here in New England. Nothing major, just some a major warm-up. Could be talking about some 80s around here, down into the mid-Atlantic, where I'll be headed for Sunday. It's going to be absolutely drenchingly hot. Not looking forward to that, but that's okay. And however, I'll only be there for maybe for about a day and a half, and then I'll be going to Pennsylvania. But other than that, that's what's going on here. Do expect some 70s and 80s around here. After that, cools down back into the 60s and maybe even back into the 50s. So we'll be watching out for that. So stay tuned. I'll be continuing to update you guys. Have a great rest of your Thursday, and I'll be back with more for your Friday. Friday the 13th forecast tomorrow. Have a great one.